welcome to the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Decker team. I'm Yetta Decker, and I'm here with one of my favorite sidekicks at the far end.
Hi, I'm Candace St. Louis with the Decker team.
Well, actually, she's Candace Decker St. Louis. Don't let her fool you. And we are here today with two amazing clients of ours that we thought you should meet, you should get to know, and you should hear maybe part of their story. Well, that's probably not a cool word. However, you will love this. You're going to experience a fun time with us. So welcome, Kim and Patrick.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
for having us.
Well, we're thrilled that you're here. And if you are watching, you're going to notice something a little peculiar this time because I don't think this has ever happened before on a show. We don't do a lot of shows with four, so that's a little unusual. Actually, it might even be the first time we've recorded with four. We've recorded with three quite a few times. Actually did do four once, so there's the memory coming back. Anyway, having said that, you've probably never seen this before. If you look at Kim and Candace, they look like they're match bookends in terms of their dress, even the style of the dress. The black and white, one's got a little more white, one's got a little more black. They didn't call each other.
No.
And now I'm not sure that I believe that, and yet that's what they both told me. So I'm going to believe it's true because I know I didn't call Patrick.
That's right.
To coordinate.
I confirm.
Perfect. And his shirt, if you're watching, has pink and white checks on it, and I'm wearing a pink jacket with a white top. So we're thinking we are coordinated. And we are ready to roll, not only coordinated from a physical appearance, coordinated from just being able to connect with you in a way that you can hear what it might be like for a client, what it might be like for a client that works specifically with the Decker team. So we're going to let them share most of their story, or, well, part of their story. They can't tell all of it because it's long and wonderful for the most part, right?
It's awesome.
So how did it start?
Okay, so back in December, in the winter time, our son moved out, and so we decided, we want to have
change
in our life, empty nested, and we figured, we were just bored, not having children to look after. We thought, okay, what if we went online and checked things out? But not only that, though.
Well, it wasn't we. You started checking.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
He's right. The also other factor was Patrick's mom came to live with us months before that, and we thought we wanted to give everybody some space and
some privacy.
Yeah.
So you're not empty nesters.
You're right.
That's a good point.
It's just a different
Our
nest.
son went out, and my mom came in.
Right?
Yeah, which is awesome, by the way, because we share a lot of the responsibilities. So that's nice. That space that we live in, we all get along together. But I thought, I wanted to change it up a little bit, and I just went on the internet. Again, it was really me being bored, and searched up, a few keywords, and I knew that we always wanted to land in Rideau Forest.
So we like is just outside Manotick.
That's correct. And the first house that I found was the house that
matched your criteria. That's
correct.
What
That we ended up buying.
Yeah.
Like, how wild is that?
How wild is that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like as serendipitous as wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or coordinating outfits,
meant to be,
right?
kind of
It's
thing.
meant to be.
Yeah.
So you found a house online that you thought interested you?
Very much so.
And what did you think, Patrick?
Well,
Tell
of course,
the
this
truth.
is all coming out of the
Tell
blue,
the
so I
truth.
wasn't expecting to move anytime soon.
Yeah.
We had not even discussed moving at that point or anything. So, of course, I resisted a little bit, saying
A little.
a little.
I'd like to know you a little bit, Patrick.
Yeah. For me,
And
it
I
was a little
suspect-
bit of resistance. To Kim, it might have been a little more of a little more complicated than that. But eventually, I said, okay, let's go visit. Let's go see it.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it too. So
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Did you tell her?
Not right away.
Not
I
right
kinda-
away.
I held off a little bit.
That's the
Kept that
appropri-
card a little.
That's the appropriate response.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I sent him the link first. I sent them the link and I said, check this out.
But she saw it, right? Like she saw it. I looked at it and said, okay, let's go look at it. So she knew. But
And I didn't know
I
how
didn't
to
voice it in.
pronounce your name. Is that Yetta? Is it Jetta? And I was confused. So I wasn't really sure who was selling the house, but I said, I love the pictures, love the YouTube video. And I couldn't get over, that it was close by enough because we were in Barhaven beforehand. And I thought, this is the middle of winter. So I decided, to call the number on the listing. And that,
Candace.
that's where Candace phoned me back.
Yeah.
And I was really shocked because she called me back and we stayed on the phone for 1 hour.
The first time around? Oh, yeah.
The first time, yeah.
Are you
kidding?
No.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised too. So generally,
You don't do that all the time?
No, not all the time. I'd say that was a first. It was like talking to an old best friend right away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got connected with Kim, and it was a property I knew well and had for sale. And so one of the things we do when selling our properties is Yetta's names everywhere. We do all the selling together. So when I called her back about the property, right away I could tell there was some trust you had in us. You were open, you were willing to hear what I had to say. Mm-hmm. You treated me like a professional in the industry, and you were willing for guidance and more information. So that was really neat. And I think that's why our conversation was an hour long, because we covered things like a little bit of personality assessment in there.
We did, actually.
First time. Great.
Right?
Did they talk about you, Patrick?
We talked.
I don't know.
Clearly, with the two of them giggling like that, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
We stayed for an hour, and I was surprised because I would expect that most real estate agents that I've met in the past have a very, very tight schedule and, are to the point and rushed and have to go to the next meeting type thing. So I felt coming in, I just wanted some information. I didn't want to take too much of her time. And what I appreciated was that she got on her computer right away. And I could hear her click, click, click and doing this and what about this and what about that. And I thought, oh, wow, she has time to chat with me. And I happened to be on vacation that week. It was
so you were in
January.
vacation mode.
I was in vacation mode. I had all the time. Yeah, and I didn't realize that she had committed that whole hour for me just to chat about our needs. And that was the first step of me trusting Candace. Was like, wow, she spent the time with me to go over all of the details that I needed to know. And that's when we started talking about personalities. I said, okay, so my husband's a numbers guy.
We need to approach him.
We now need a strategy. You're now my ally in this.
It was quickly formed, eh?
Yeah. So that helped me. And I do definitely each time come prepared. But I knew from what Kim was saying how to come prepared to put Patrick at ease. So I brought all the paperwork that explained about real estate. I brought the information about the sale of their house because I learned that they did need to sell first before they could buy. And so I brought all of those things to the first meeting. And we viewed a couple homes because I wanted you to see what was out there, not just one house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did end up, coming back to that original one, but we did see a few. So.
Which is appropriate because I think sometimes when you're looking to buy a home, you want to make sure you've got the best house. And although you can do a lot of great searching online today,
yes,
right? Like you guys had already seen the video,
Yeah.
you'd already seen the pictures, and we have quite a few pictures, and they're well taken. They don't tend to be too fisheye, so that the rooms look 12 times as big as they actually are, and they're done professionally. So there's the right lighting. It's done so that you can see the best of the house and yet see the true house.
Right.
Right. And likewise with the video. So you knew more or less what you were coming to. And if you'd ever only seen one, I suspect in the back of your mind, you would have been wondering, is this actually the best one?
Right. Exactly. Yep. Also at the back of our mind was the fact that we needed to sell our house. I knew that we need to sell our house first before we even purchase another one. And it was, again, January of 2016. And we thought, well, what are the chances of us selling our house in the winter? Probably only will sell.
And that's after we
spring.
visited the homes. And then Candace came over and said, no, this is the best time to do it. Right? So we decided
homes sell 12 months of the year.
Right.
Contrary to popular belief,
guess
that all the hype of the
spring market thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know that. We thought, oh, for sure, we're going to have to wait and all. No, maybe the house will be sold. The house that we wanted, we thought it would be sold by that time. And so we talked to her. We said, we're also going to need to sell our home too. But, I was very frank. I said, Patrick being a numbers guy, he might be looking at potentially selling it on our own.
Right.
So perhaps we need to discuss our options. Mm-hmm. And that's where she came prepared. She came prepared.
And then we realized you told us that there was only one other house on the market at the time in our neighborhood, and that's why we thought, okay, now is the time to. Availability was low, so we said, okay.
That's what surprised us the most. Yeah. She came to our house not just talking about other houses that we'd be interested in, but most importantly, she came with information about our home, our property, what its value was, and the values of the houses in our area that sold recently in the last period. Mm-hmm. And for us, that was like, oh, wow, we didn't even expect her to go through all that research and that detail.
First meeting,
our first meeting, and I couldn't believe it because it really solidified our decision at that point. It was like, yeah, I think we want her to help us sell our house as well as purchase
That's
the house
kind of
that
cool.
we just got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is a real tendency in today's economy, because real estate fees are expensive, right? Like it's an expensive professional service that you pay for.
Right.
And so you want to make sure you're getting value.
Yes.
Right? And I think sometimes what happens is we get focusing on, as homeowners, because I've been there, I wasn't always a realtor, contrary to popular belief. There was a time where I was that homeowner or home buyer and homeowner and had not been represented well. Oh. And so then you don't believe there's any value, right?
Right.
And so often what I do, and I know others have done as well and consider, is we get focused on that fee that we're paying out rather than focused on the 90, 95, 96% of the value of our home that's not part of the fee.
Correct.
Right? So we forget about the big part and we get focusing on the little part, even though it sounds like a lot of money, and I get it is a lot of money. It's still, we get fixated on the wrong piece.
Correct.
So how do I protect my 94, 95% of the value of my home? Well, that's by having professional representation.
Yes. Yeah,
and
we
that's
were sold
what
on
you
that.
decided.
Yeah.
So what was it, other than she came prepared, and I love that, was there anything else that caused you to go, hey, you know what, I've been thinking about selling privately and now I'm not thinking about it anymore? What was that turning point?
I'll let you answer that, but I have
Well,
my
actually,
answer too.
you said that I would have considered. I'm not sure about that. I always like to toss all all my options. I don't think I was ever serious about selling it on our own. But I think this is our third home.
Right.
Okay, so we have done it before, and we always used an agent in the past as well. I've helped my grandparents sell their home. We used an agent. I helped my parents sell their home. We used an agent as well. So I don't think I had really any intentions of selling it on our own.
It sounds like your wife did, though.
Well, sounded
it's something
like...
that I may have said, maybe we should consider it. Just out of, because I always look at all my options.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's more or less where he was coming from, was that, hey, we've done this a few times with agents. Is there something that we could have learned from them and, save on paying the fees for a realtor? And, I said, well, honestly, I have no clue what it takes. Okay, to sell a house. I don't want to have to go through the research and go online. I don't want to have to mess up and have to learn that I did it wrong.
Yeah, because there's a learning curve,
costly.
Right? Yeah.
I'm busy. You're busy. We both work full time.
And that was the biggest.
We know our
thing,
strengths.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can do anything we want to, but really, do we really want to have to learn how to sell our own house and then make mistakes?
Was no.
Exactly. Yeah. And then when we met her, we thought, okay, she's honest. And we liked the honesty. We liked the fact that she came prepared.
We like your personality.
Yeah,
it was,
exactly. So
good.
it was a good mix with us. I think with our personalities, him being very detailed, and I'm quite detailed in my own, but at the same time, we wanted a personal contact that we could trust and just talk with and not feel rushed, not feel like, okay, gotta
we could really
go.
feel we were getting the
Personal.
honest answers.
Yeah.
No smoke screen. No, it was just
The raw numbers.
Yeah.
And you talked a lot about numbers, so the numbers were really important to you guys.
Absolutely.
And you felt...
Well, it had to work, right?
Well, of course it had to work. Right, I get it.
Yeah.
So the numbers were important. Not really, I promise. And so we got the numbers under
Yeah.
control. And so I think what's cool about that is not only did the numbers work, they were the truthful numbers,
Correct.
Yeah.
right? It wasn't
Correct.
like I can't remember who said smoke screen.
Yes.
I did.
You said smoke screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's something that you have to be careful about.
Yeah, we've seen that before in our previous homes that we sold. You know, sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
Right,
it
you get
does.
some really high number from an agent that wants to sell the house, as opposed to a real market value of what the house should be selling at.
Well, I think unfortunately sometimes what happens is when it's priced out of the market, in fact, the realtor benefits potentially from getting buyers from that sign, and they never get a sold sign on the property.
Right.
And we have long ago realized that we're not actually serving our seller if it doesn't get turned into a sold sign.
Right.
And what were you telling me about sold sign earlier today?
Well, I noticed that in the area that we live in, a few houses had sold recently by your team. And I love the energy that you guys put on your sign that says, yay, we're sold, with 3 exclamation marks. I had never seen that before. You usually just see the 4 letters, right? Sold. And that speaks a lot about the energy that your team brings.
Well, and what I love about that is the woohoo sold and the yay sold. That idea came from clients, just like you guys, right? Like we want to hear what they have to say. So one of my clients said it's been a journey because they'd attempted to sell privately for a long time first. These other clients, and then they invited me into the conversation. They interviewed 4 realtors, and then decided that we were absolutely the team to serve them. And so the journey was pretty long for them, not because we necessarily took that long, and yet the whole journey was long. And as we got the sold ready to go, she said, could it say yay sold or woohoo sold or something that's
Something with a little
got a
more
little bit of
emotion?
energy?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll make that happen.
Let me get that handled. So I called our custom sign guy and had him print me some. And we put it up there when we
Brilliant.
actually went firm. If you're just joining us now on the Inside Track on Real Estate, Candace Decker St. Louis and Yetta Decker are having a great conversation with Kim and Patrick Vachon about their home buying and home selling experience. They have actually done both with the Decker team and in fact have introduced us to other people. And bigger than that, well, as big as that, I shouldn't say bigger, as big as that, they have been a reference for clients that wanted to confirm that we might be a good choice. So people you didn't know
That's right.
phoned
Called
you.
us and
Yeah. So how did that go?
well, it went very well, I think. Candace just called us in advance and asked, can we give your name as a reference? And we said, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well, the way it went was she contacted me. She texted me and I said, yeah, let's get on the phone. And so we talked about it. I said, okay, well, hold on a second. So if this man is asking for a reference, give me a little bit of background on his personality. Maybe, he doesn't want a wife who's super excited and a loud personality. Maybe he wants the more calculative, detail-oriented person who can speak factually about things. So based on that, we made the decision, have him call Pat. Pat can give him the raw facts based on his personality. I'm more than happy to speak about it from the wife's standpoint. No problems there, but he ended up calling Patrick, and they had a quick 3.5-minute phone call.
that's funny because he had some very specific questions, and I feel like I just answered them honestly.
Can you
gave
remember
them-
what any of the questions were?
I don't remember.
Because he was asking about them being our realtor to sell our house and to purchase, right?
Yeah, because you listened to the conversation.
Yes,
but,
of course.
Of course, folks.
yeah,
Wouldn't you?
yeah. I did explain to him. I remember explaining to him that you helped us purchase and sell, and that went very well. And yeah,
That there's a
short and
synergy
sweet.
that exists when you have the same person.
exactly. That-
Because they actually get you.
Correct. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Win. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all the way
yeah.
around, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because and I've often had that question by folks that are thinking of buying and selling. They're saying, well, would we not be better to work with a realtor?
have somebody
Have somebody
independent, or, yeah.
on the other side? And I go, well, in fact, it's mostly going to work against you because you've got to get 2 people in the loop. You've got to make sure
Correct.
information from one is transferred to the other, whereas if one person and one team. So when I say one person, the
Right.
whole team
Yeah. Sure,
supported
sure.
you.
Yep.
You just the front person who's amazing at what she does
Yes.
is Candace and was there for you. And yet if there was ever questions, even in terms of value, we would have collective conversations in the background. We
Correct.
often stand over each other's
Yeah.
computer when
You guys
we're
work
doing
as a
the
team and-
analysis
Yes.
going, so what do you think? I'm not
Right.
going to tell you anything. And what do you think? And then if the numbers don't come up the same, then there has to be a pretty intense conversation
Right.
about what it is are we missing? Who's
Right.
missing what? Because really,
Yep.
the home seller and the realtor, with good data, with good information
Yes.
provided, really ought we not to get the same answer?
Right. I found that the
Should be close,
turnaround
right.
time was fantastic because I had one person that we needed to deal with. We didn't have to go through Candace to go to another realtor to get to the owner of the home that we're trying to buy from. It was immediate turnaround time. And for us, that was important. That, to have that constant communication with her and to be able to call her up at any point in time and discuss anything, we got immediate turnaround on our questions.
And to know that all the incentives are aligned for that deal
Correct.
to happen, right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
And I can promise you, had you met with Candace, developed a great relationship, and then the home that you wanted wasn't a home that we actually had for sale, because that's reasonably unusual. Your situation is a little unique, that you would fall in love with the one that we have, right? Even if you had then chosen a different property, you would have felt very much still that commonality
same,
and that same
yeah,
care.
no doubt.
Exactly.
Because she's taking care of both sides of your buy and your sell.
Correct.
So whether it's her listing or not,
Yes.
I would suggest that the experience would have been almost as wonderful.
They were similar. I think what Kim's referring to is that when we were dealing with them purchasing the house that the team also had for sale, it was a quicker, there was no one in the middle. I could go straight to both clients back and forth.
So that
they-
was beautiful too.
Yeah, the answers were much quicker where
Yes.
when they were selling theirs and we had a different buying agent, it took
You
more
didn't help
time.
the buyer with that one
I
either?
didn't find the buyer that time. And so it was a little bit longer because I had to get to another agent who
Right.
then had to get to her client who had to get back
Then
to
we
her
could see a
agent
little bit the
and then
difference.
come back to me.
Yes,
so
we
they
saw the
felt
difference
a little bit of a difference. On
in time.
Yeah,
In
and I can
timing.
appreciate
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So because I think I cut you off when we were talking about what you told the folks that called. So really, you just assured them that A, you were going to get
Yeah.
solid information, you were going to get the facts, and there was going to be no smoke screen.
That's right. It was kind of like that. It was very
it's
quick.
pretty
You had
much like that.
You had a few questions for me, as you know. It was more like personality. If I liked my experience with the Decker team, and yeah, told him I did.
Yeah. So I think it's important that when you're looking for references, that you pair them up with the right types of personalities that they can connect to. And that's what I wanted to do, was give that person the best reference between us to say, okay, you know what? Speak to
I
my
love
husband.
that. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Like, it's so neat that you're concerned about
The reception of that information, right?
yeah, for our sake and for their
Yes.
sake.
Yeah. I
Like,
wanted
how
him
cool
to
is
know the
that?
honest
Look
truth.
at the amazing clients we get to work with. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, we're very thankful too, because now when it came time to sell our home, we thought, okay, well, this will take a few months. It's the middle of
I think I had that in my mind that it was going to take a while.
And what was the
And,
experience like?
That was-
It sold in 10 business days, and all the
was very
paperwork
quick.
was done in 10
Yeah.
business days. We counted it. We couldn't believe it. We were taken off for a winter vacation.
oh, that's right.
I was in your house then. I was showing it
You
to
were
someone.
showing,
I
yeah,
had-
you showed our house even before it was on the
that's
market.
right, I did. I had buyers that I thought it
That's
might
right.
match
And
perfectly
we
with.
thought that was really neat, the fact that you guys are a team, because it's not just Candace working on behalf of herself. You've got a team of people who have leads or contacts out there who can then collaborate on the sale and stuff. So I thought that's really neat. Okay, so we're taking off on our vacation, and as soon as we arrive, I get a text message saying that.
Offers are coming in.
Yeah.
All right. So we had there were several visits on
Yeah.
the first few days of our
Listing.
vacation of the listing, yeah. And yeah, like we had actually multiple offers, I think. And so
You
yeah,
think you don't even
We were-
remember? It's a
No,
brand, Patrick.
I think we
sitting
had
on the
about
beach,
3,
and
Yeah.
we were just kind of discussing offers, and yeah, we actually settled the sale of our home while on
we
vacation.
were on vacation.
And
Yeah.
where were you vacationing?
We were
We were
in
in-
Bermuda.
Yeah, in Bermuda, playing golf.
Oh, that's so much fun.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was
And
so
you didn't
much
worry
fun.
about anything.
No, we didn't
Nope.
because we were in constant communication with her, and we often
Texts, emails, whatever.
text messages. She emailed us the PDF documents. We were able to sign things, and it happened so quickly. In the first 2 days of our vacation, we signed papers. It was great.
And our strategy was that it was January and there wasn't much competition as far as sellers. And of course,
And that
come
was key, I
spring
think,
market,
yeah.
there's going to be more competition as a seller. And the buyers are looking for that new next best thing in January. They're motivated buyers. They have to buy something or else they're not trudging the snow generally. And your house was perfect and showed beautifully. And so then they got excited about it. Our thought was, once you're on vacation, many showings happen in the first 2 weeks. So we'll get those showings out
was
of the way
perfect
and not
timing, right?
being
Yeah.
inconvenienced by that. And lo and behold, we received offers, which was fantastic.
So we were celebrating in Bermuda.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect. So guess what? Do you realize we've been chatting for about a half an hour?
Really.
Wow.
That went fast.
And so, Candace, you've got to tell the folks that are watching and listening
Yes.
about a couple, quickly, you don't have much time,
Okay.
couple of great properties that they may want to call you about.
Okay, so we have another property that's very similar to the one they purchased, actually, Kim and Patrick, and it's in the same area, Rideau Forest. It's at 750, a 4-bedroom house built in 2004. Shows beautifully, meticulously taken care of, so you'll need to check that one out. And it's on Rideau Bend. Give me a call and we can discuss it. And the other one is for an investor or a first-time buyer. It is listed at $180,000, and it's a great 3-bedroom townhouse condo, that 1-car garage. So lots of opportunity there to get in the market.
And it's in Blackburn Hamlet, so it's city bus services, city water, city sewer, so kind of something for everybody.
Yes.
And we have everything in between. We kind of talked about, what do we want to tell you about? We thought, where these guys live, and then something that would be maybe an investment property for somebody like you guys.
Yep. Who knows?
I'll talk to you later.
So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you so much. This
I
was
love
so
it.
much
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank you
Thank
very
Thank
much
you,
for all your
everybody.
help.
And if you have any questions, you want to join us on the show, if you want to have this experience, or even if you don't, and you're willing to step in there and have it anyway, give us a call so we can journey with you through the real estate experience. It's Yetta Decker at 613-860-4663, and we're here to answer your questions.